Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is in session. The court is in session. 2 dockets. We have our announcement docket and the pretrial conference docket. First case calling on the announcement docket is cause number M330514. Case is styled in the state of Texas versus Ryan Van Epps. Mr. Epps, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Epps?
No, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Epps. You're representing your case by your attorney Benjamin Jeffers. Attorney Jeffers, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the state is represented in this case by attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Do I have any bond conditions in this case? Mr. Epps, your case is on the court's announcement docket. You're represented by your attorney, Benjamin Jeffers. Attorney Jeffers, what is your announcement in Mr. Epps' case?
Today, we're asking for a reset until December 11th. He has a felony that's tied in with the same incident. We're trying to get it on the same path.
December 11th, 2023. The Odyssey just went out? Let me, you give me some bond conditions. I don't know if I gave him any bond conditions. Maybe the last time he was here.
He's got bond conditions. I'm not.
Oh, yeah, okay, but you need some for this case. Let's see. You have a gun charge. Is that correct? Unlawful carrying a weapon.
Correct.
He doesn't? Okay, thanks. Let's see, this is needs to. I think I copied this here. Big copy. If you can see that. Okay, this.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Put your mic on mute, and then when we call your case, you'll be able to.
Thank you.
Take it off of mute. Okay. Oh, let me do this here. I'm telling you. Now, sir, put your mic back on. Turn your audio back on. We need to get your name.
Rigoberto Rios.
Rigoberto. Okay, you can put your mic back on. Hey, Mr. Epps, just handing your attorney some bond conditions that I'm going to go over with you. The document that you just received is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. You see that document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it reads as follows. Following the return of criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3 and number 4 does not apply. However, condition number 5 does apply. Says the defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond will be revoked and a warrant shall be issued for your arrest. Mr. Kimmler, you need to get out of here with that drink. Okay, now your case is going to be reset to December 11 of 2023. Your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, you're welcome. And y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay, Miss, what do?
The problem is they link them. That's the only way they think it. It's, let me say, one time. That's okay, they didn't look at it. It's.
Okay, we got anybody else?
You can.
Oh, there goes Mr. Wilkerson right there. Jefferson County Code at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number 23CCCR 0540. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Rigoberto Rios. Mr. Rios is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Rios, how are you doing?
Hi, how's it going? Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Rios, you're represented in your case by your attorney Todd Tikoch. However, standing in as local counsel or as co-counsel, actually you have two attorneys. You have Todd Tikoch and Lori Perazzo, and attorney Lori Perazzo is appearing. What happened? Okay. Attorney Lori Perazzo is here in court. Ms. Perazzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Rios,
Yes.
you were to appear in person today, and your attorney stated that they received a message from you. Was that today?
It was this morning.
This morning, stating why you were unable to appear,
Yes.
and what happened?
Oh, my truck, on Friday, I was supposed to pick up a load on Friday to go to Houston, but when I went to the inspection station, my truck got put out of service because my truck did not had two flat tires, and when they came, it was like too late to deliver and to head home. So I was here stuck for the weekend because I'm right now I am unloading right now. The load I was supposed to unload Friday and head home.
Okay, now where are you located?
I'm right now I'm in Minneapolis. Actually it's actually Shakopee, Minnesota. It's like 20 minutes from Minneapolis.
Okay, state.
Yeah,
Now,
Minnesota.
you have any objections to him not appearing in person?
Not under circumstances, but he needs to get here.
Okay, so the state doesn't have any objections to you not appearing in person today, due to the fact that you're unable to be it because of your situation with your truck. Now, we need to reset this case.
Yes, sir.
What date are we going to reset it to? No, that's too far out. 29, that's too far out. I mean, when are you going to be back here in Texas?
I'm there every weekend. I'm supposed to be at home, so I was supposed to go to your court on the Monday today, but I'm off every weekend. So if I get, you want me there?
We can set him a week.
I have to be here next Monday.
Okay, we're gonna reset you for 1 week.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay, what's that date? It's just gonna be reset for October 16th of 2023. Stay in contact with your attorneys. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome. Ms. Perazzo, do you have,
And on Mr. Garcia, I believe that's going to be a plea.
okay,
I just need to get with the prosecutor, make sure the terms.
Okay.
are
okay, that's fine.
The same.
Okay.
Is that you? Which one? I'm running over here. No, that was another Class C appeal.
Let me see.
Attorney Villa Gomez, are you ready on Mr. Reyna? Do you need- Okay,
No, that's Kobe's.
okay. Smith. Jeremy Andrews.
No, that's Kobe's.
We're
Ah.
just requesting a reset.
Is he here?
He's here.
Mr. Andrews, would you please come forward?
Third court reset him to the 23rd.
This is cause number M 3832, case is style of state of Texas versus Jeremy Andrus. Mr. Andrus, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Andrus?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Andrus, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Smith. However, Attorney Smith is not here today. Standing in for Attorney Smith is Attorney Brennan Mitchell. Does Attorney Mitchell have your permission to stand in for Attorney Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Mitchell, what is your announcement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a reset. He's got another concurrent case in drug court.
Kelly, okay.
Yes, sir. And so they've reset him to the 23rd
Of what month?
of this month.
October 23rd. So this case is going to be reset on the same date?
If the court has availability for it.
Okay. So we're going to reset this case to October 23rd. Mr. Andrews, can once you get your reset from Attorney Mitchell, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Mitchell, this is your only case?
Yes, Judge.
You're free to go as well.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
She'll give you a copy of the receipt.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes, Your Honor.
I have two dismissals on Tory Vincent Stone King.
No objections, Judge.
Oh, you put the wrong month on the dismissal. You got September.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I erased it.
Okay. You could just erase it with the back. Is that the one that would
He
erase?
doesn't erase. You want me to scratch over it or?
No, let's let me do this. I'm gonna send it to her
Okay,
and she can, we have to get another one.
okay.
I'll do it on her.
I can do it from my tablet.
I'm gonna send this back to you. They put September. I just sent it. Can you send it back to her? Stone King. Both, I can do them, both of them. Those dismissals, print off. David Manning, you here? You come forward. Your attorney Langston Adams up here, your case was dismissed by the state. I'm signing the dismissal right now. You'll be able to get a copy of this dismissal from the clerk. Stand over here for your dismissal.
Did you need them or no? Or did you need Adams to come out?
Well, you could, I'll just tell his case. It was dismissed. No, he's right here.
Oh,
Your dismissal is coming off.
It's dismissed? Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
So we can get out.
yeah, y'all free to go. Y'all be blessed. It should be, is that his?
Yeah, I know. I'm peaceful.
All right. That door is locked. You're gonna have to go through the door over there.
So, solve the piece off.
So.
Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M332274. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Kevon C. Brown. Mr. Brown, is your full name Kevon C. Brown? Mr. Brown, would you please raise your right hand? Brown, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Brown? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Brown, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
Mr. Paget, do you waive a record in Mr. Brown's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is represented by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing? Mr. Brown, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Kevon C. Brown, on or about January 14 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operated a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Brown, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Brown, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Brown, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to a box. There's check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Brown, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Okay, he didn't sign this.
Nothing difficult on explaining, it's just. I think that is-
Mr. Brown, I also have a document before me that is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Brown, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Brown, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's 2, probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Paget, you advised that counsel, Mr. Brown, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
And Mr. Brown, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 90 days in Jefferson County Jail, probated for 1 year, $500 fine, 60 hours of community service, court costs, interlock, and DWI intervention.
What is the court cost in this case? 407. Is there any kind of like lab fees or anything? No.
That's good. Yeah.
We do this. How many tablets do we have out? And she has one.
I have one, the state's has. I have the state's has
How many the state has? One?
one.
Let me see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody else has a tablet. Who else has a tablet? Okay. Mr. Brown,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $407. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee, $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay a DWI education and initial evaluation fee on the day of the plea. And that'll be $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $166 a month. Will you be able to pay the $166 each month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install the interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete the DWI intervention class. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Brown, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Brown, you're gonna stand on the you're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
What's that I said? Okay. I'll make that. This is that.
Yes, sir.
Hernandez.
He is, just right now. It might be this case. Let me look. Let's see. But it is out in your office. It might be. Yeah, it hadn't been someone, so I'll like it offer. Let me look at the history of that in like 5 minutes. Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
You're doing, I think, that door is locked.
Yeah.
Anna Hernandez. What's the court policy? 337. She doesn't have to pay that fee because it's not family violence. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. Court is in session and calls numbers M332252. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Ana Cristina Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, is your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hernandez, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Hernandez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hernandez, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Hernandez?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Hernandez, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, do you waive a record in Ms. Hernandez's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Ana Cristina Hernandez, on or about April 8, 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault. Ms. Hernandez, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Hernandez, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily,
Yes, sir.
and are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Hernandez, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? There are 2 boxes checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have a document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. Ms. Hernandez, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yeah.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hernandez, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
You're not? Okay. And what country are you from? Mexico? I'm giving you a document, your attorney is gonna go over which it says English for all foreign nationals except those for mandatory notification countries. Your attorney is gonna go over this document with you. When you finish going over the document, you have to circle either yes or no, and then you'll put your signature and your name, and then your attorney will witness it. Okay. Thank you. Ms. Hernandez, I also have another document before me that's titled English Statement 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. And do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's one box that circle here says no, and that's the answer to the question that states, do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time?
Mm.
And you said it no, okay. Okay, now, before you sign this document, did you turn to go over this document with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna go back to the first document, misdemeanor plea admonishments. And this is Stacy Exhibit 1, this is the first document that we went over.
Yes,
The
sir.
last paragraph on this page is titled citizenship. I'm going to go over this with you. And it states, if you're not a US citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
Now, let me get this back to you, Mr. Paget. Could you please have her initial either on side or below the paragraph?
Yeah, because I used to do that one. I don't know what you call. Because I don't know what to put on.
Okay. Now, Mr. Paget, by her not being a US citizen, did you go over the consequences of pleading guilty and no contest pursuant to the requirements of Padilla versus Kentucky?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, now, let me see. Okay, state. Do we have a plea bargain? Well, state, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the proper cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections to State's 1.
No objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2, court will take judicial notice of State's Exhibit 2, which is in the court's file. Mr. Paget, you advised the counsel, Ms. Hernandez, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, the attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full and effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Now, Ms. Hernandez, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain
We
agreement?
do, Judge.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 12 months deferred, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, court costs, no contact with the victim, Jamie Ann Morello.
And that's our understanding, Your Honor.
Jamie and okay, Ms. Hernandez, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required, let's see, I can calculate this up. Okay, Ms. Hernandez, state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $337. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee, $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $159 a month. Will you be able to pay the $159 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You cannot have any contact with Jamie Ann Morello, the victim in this case, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Ms. Hernandez, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Hernandez, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Hernandez, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Hernandez, you're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following the clerk directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay. Moise Beltran. Moise Beltran. This is cause number M332240. Case is style of state of Texas versus Moise Beltran. Mr. Beltran, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Beltran?
Good.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Beltran, you represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Beltran's case?
Your Honor, my intentions are to file a motion to withdraw on the case. I haven't spoken to Mr. Beltran since May 8th of 2023 when he bond forfeited. So, but I wanted to, give him an opportunity to speak to me first, on the
Okay.
announcement. So this is the first time I've seen him, spoke to him since what, May? May. So, and my office has been in the same location for 25 years. My phone number's been the same for 25 years.
Mrs.
I'm real easy to find and get a hold of.
Okay, now, Mr. Beltran, you have an attorney. You're supposed to communicate with your attorney. Your attorney's trying to communicate with you. He just stated that he may be filing a motion to withdraw. He's giving you an opportunity to reconnect
Absolutely.
with him. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset his case, give you an opportunity to reconnect. I'm sure if you're unable to reconnect,
Then
he's
I'll
gonna
call him.
file a motion to withdraw.
But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and
Okay,
be more than happy to sit and discuss and try to not to waste the court's time. We'll expedite matters.
okay. Okay, give us a reset date. Mr. Moise Beltran, bottom of page 2 on the announcement docket.
Where's my number? Well, I think the judge would probably tell you when you come back, you need to either recontact me or then the case has been pending for quite some time.
Okay,
29.
Have an attorney with you. Either me or somebody. You can reach me at that number anytime.
you said November the 29th?
Yes.
Okay,
That's right.
Mr. Beltran, his case is gonna be reset to November 29th. You're gonna get your reset from the attorney. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Next case is cause number M333854. Case is style of state of Texas versus Austin Patrick Buzinger. Buzinger was, okay, there he is.
Yeah,
Mr. Buzinger is on Zoom. Mr. Buzinger, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
That's good, Mr. Buzinger. you're represented by your attorney James Paget. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, my client has been approved and he was set to sign a pretrial diversion contract. However, the signing date was canceled and moved to December 7th.
Okay,
So unfortunately, and that's why I asked my client not to take off work and come
okay,
here now. So otherwise he would have been here in person. So
okay,
we will sign our contract on December the 7th at 8:30 a.m. and we can move forward from there.
okay. Give us a reset second week of December.
It's gonna be the 18th.
Okay, this case will be reset to December 18th, 2023. Once you get your reset your attorney is gonna get your reset, Mr. Businger. I'll stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next case is that Pache Blunt or Pache? Pache Blunt? Okay, let's see. Pache Blunt was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. Court's bailiff called the name of Pache Blunt at the courthouse door. Pache Blunt did not answer. Pache Blunt has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 10:37 a.m. on today's date of October 9th, 2023. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Pache Blunt at the courthouse door?
It looked like Miss Porter checked and she didn't show up.
Okay, Pache Blunt, name was just called at the courthouse door. Pache Blunt did not answer when the bailiff called her name. The time now is 10:38 a.m. on today's date. State, do you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Pache Blunt bond will be forfeited and warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Pache Blunt in cause number M333522. Okay, next case. Mr. Paget, I think that's
Your
it.
Honor.
Yeah,
May I be excused?
yes, you're free to go and you have a
Thank you,
blessed
Your
day.
Honor. Thank you for your help, Ms. Porter.
You're welcome.
Mr. Wilkerson, you ready on your cases?
Yes.
One's gonna be a plea judge,
Oh, okay.
one's not here, and one's set up for pretrial diversion and execution.
Okay, when we do your plea, we'll call the rest of them. Who else we have? We need to call Mr. Next case is cause number M333934. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Benito C. Fuente Jr.
Good morning, Your Honor. I unmuted it.
Yeah, good morning. Mr. C. Fuente, your attorney, Ryan Matuska, has a vacation letter in. And so he will not be making an appearance today because he's scheduled, he's on vacation.
State requests that a client comes here unless he's sick or has COVID. We'd ask him to be here. We can't move it if he's not.
Okay, so Mr. C. Fuente, your attorney is not going to be here. Your case is going to be reset. Give us a reset date. Okay, the case is reset to November 29th, 2023. And on that day, you need to be here in person.
Okay, November 29th.
Yes,
Okay,
2023 at 9 a.m. County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas.
November 23 at 9 a.m. Okay.
November 29th of
Oh,
2023.
okay. Yes, sir. I got it. I corrected it.
All right, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right. You too, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Okay. Man, what happened to my, oh man. I lost connection on my Odyssey.
Like dial up internet.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, well, let me see. I'm gonna be back on this. Okay. Yeah, Jefferson County Court, Law Number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in two cases. They are actually three cases. They are cause numbers M328475, cause number M329381, and cause number M329913. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Darrell James Ordwine III. Mr. Ordwine, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Ordwine, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ordwine, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Mr. Ordwine, you may put your hand out. How are you doing, Mr. Ordwine? That's good, Mr. Ordwine. You represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Mr. Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Mr. Ordwine cases?
We do, Judge.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Colbert Hawfire. Attorney Hawfire, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Ordwine, in cause number M328475, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Darrell James Ordwine, on or about November 14th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. Ordwine, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Ordwine, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Ordwine, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials that's on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Right.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Right.
Now, Mr. Ordwine, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, go over these documents with you?
Yeah.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Right.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Correct.
Mr. Ordwine, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State, I have before me States Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and States Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer States Exhibits 1 and 2 in evidence?
Yes.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted into evidence. Mr. Wilkerson, you advised and counseled Mr. Ordwine. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ordwine, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Ordwine, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Exchange for plea of guilty, no contest, state's could recommend 365 days in jail, probated for 1 year. It's $1,000 fine and court costs, 80 hours community-based service. all other standard terms and conditions. This will run concurrent with cause number M329913, which is the exact same plea bargain agreement. In that, they'll run concurrent, meaning all the terms and conditions, all the fine and everything are the exact same. Also, along with this plea agreement is the state is going to dismiss cause number 329 M329381.
What's the court file?
337.
337. Okay. Mr. Ardwine, the state is offering that you serve 365 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $337. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $205 a month. Mr. Ardwine, will you be able to pay the $205? Oh, let me do this here. Are you code appointed? Yes. Oh. Put that in there. Hey, Mr. Ardwine, your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $232 a month. Will you be able to pay the $232 each month?
Yes.
You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. This case will run concurrent with cause number M329913. The state will be dismissing cause number M329381. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Ardwine, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Ardwine, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Ardwine, we will move to your next case. And your next case is cause number M329913. And in this case, I also have information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this information, Mr. Ardwine, it alleges that you, Darrell James Ardwine III, on or about April 10th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest, detention. Mr. Ardoin, do you understand what you've been charged with in this case?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Ardoin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Now, Mr. Ardoin, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, which is also states exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials on the line next to boxes, check no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? And on page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? And I also have a document that's titled discovery certification. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Ardoin, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And let's state, I have before me states exhibits 1 and 2. State, would you like to offer states exhibits 1 and 2 in evidence?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objection. States exhibits 1 and 2 will be admitted. State court will take judicial notice of states 2, which is the probable cause affidavits in the court's file. And Mr. Wilkerson, you advised the counsel, Mr. Ardoin, in this case as well. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ardoin, your attorney, Ms. Wilkerson, has advised and counsel you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Ardoin, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence. Find you guilty beyond a reasonable statement, plea bargain agreement in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that
It's the
agreement?
exact same plea bargain as the previous case, Your Honor. 365 day or exchange for plea of guilty or no contest. States agreed to recommend 365 days in jail, probated for 1 year, $1,000 fine, court cost, 80 hours community service. Like I said before, running concurrent with the cause number M328475 and standard terms and conditions, just as with that cause number. Also in that agreement, the states has agreed to dismiss cause number M329381.
What's the court cost in this one?
292.
292. Now, you put the attorney fees in one case,
One,
the first one.
251 and 57.
So I'm looking at 50 in this one. 650 in this one.
50, that's one. Actually, let me see.
Okay. Now, let me do this again. We'll go back. In the other case, I said you was gonna be paying $232 a month. Actually, it's gonna be $227 a month. It went down because the fees, the attorney fees is not 300, it's gonna be 250 in that case. Okay, everything else will be the same. Now, and that's cause number M3284759. Now, in this case, cause number M329913, the state is offering that you serve 365 days in Jefferson County Jail. You will not be required to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $292 a month. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, or your analysis fee, $15 each month. A reimbursement fee of $15. You also be required to reimburse Jefferson County Code upon attorney's fees of $50. Your total monthly installments, that is, would be $205 a month. However, because you have to pay because you're already on probation, you're gonna pay one probation fee and one reimbursement fee. So we're gonna subtract $75 off of the $205. And so you'll be paying, in this case, $130 a month. Now, will you be able to pay the $130 each month? You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. The state will run this case concurrent with the previous case, cause number M328, cause number M328475. And they will be dismissing cause number M329381. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Ardoin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Right.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Ardoin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Ardoin, you're going to stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. You will also be given a copy of the dismissal as well as the paperwork in this case, in these cases. You're welcome. Dontrell Ashton Cargo. So, Mr. Cargo, your full name is Dontrell Ashton Cargo?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Cargo?
Pretty good. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. I'm doing fine, Mr. Cargo. You're represented in this case by your attorney, William Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Mr. Cargo's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Cargo has been approved for pretrial diversion. We expect to execute that agreement in December.
Okay, give us a reset second week of December. Okay, this case is going to be reset December 18th, 2023. Mr. Cargo, your attorney will give a copy of your reset. Once you get a copy of your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Next case It's cause number M331294, case of style of state of Texas versus Jared Devereaux Mayo. Jared Mayo was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's announcement docket. At about 9 a.m., the court's barely called the name of Jared Mayo at the courthouse door. Jared Mayo did not answer. Jared Mayo has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:13 a.m. on today's date of October 9, 2023. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jared Mayo at the courthouse door?
Jared.
This is downstairs.
No response, Your Honor.
Jared Mayo, name was just called again at the courthouse door. You Jared Mayo? Oh, okay, hold on. You want to talk to him?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If we can hold that.
I'll hold,
I
okay,
may have to run down the hallway.
okay,
My apologies.
okay. Okay,
Yeah, I'll give him a copy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. You're welcome. Okay. Next case is cause number M330250. Case of South State of Texas versus Jesus Reyna Jr. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session and calls number M330250. Case of style of state of Texas versus Jesus Reyna Jr. Mr. Reyna, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Reyna, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Reyna, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Reyna?
No, bless, how about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Reyna, your attorney of record is attorney Ramon Villagomez. However, attorney Villagomez is not present today, however, standing in for attorney Villagomez's attorney Arthur Paraz.
That's correct.
And Mr. Reyna, does Mr. Paraz have your permission to stand in for Mr. Villagomez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Attorney Paras, how are you doing?
You're good, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Attorney Paris, do you waive a record in Mr. Rayner's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Rayner, I have before me a document that is titled Information. Sir, you need to take your hat off. Okay. And Mr. Rayner, this document is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Jesus Rayner Jr., on or about June 5th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Rayner, do you understand what you have been, well, it says that, let me do this here. It says that on or about June 5th of 2021, while you in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 1.5 or more. Mr. Rayner, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to discharge Mr. Rayner, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rayner, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, on page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials. There are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature
Yes,
on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Attorney Paris, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rayner, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
None.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Parrish, you advised and counsel Mr. Rayner, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There is no evidence.
And Mr. Rayner, your attorney, Mr. Parrish, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rayner, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Do Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The statute of plea of guilty or no contest, state agree to recommend 15 days in Jefferson County Jail and court costs. Defendant is credit for 2 days. And Your Honor, we have an agreement that the defendant will report in 2 weeks on October 20th, 2023, before 6 p.m. to the Jefferson County Jail.
Correct.
That's a Friday.
What is the court cost? Okay. Now, Mr. Reiner, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 2 days that you have already served. Now, the court cost in this case is $477. $447. $447. Mr. Reiner, will you be able to pay the court cost of $447?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Reiner, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Reiner, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. You'll report to the Jefferson County Jail on October 20th, 2023 at or before 6 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following the directions of the clerk, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Now, the payments need to be made to y'all, right? To the county clerk's office, which is right, we on top of the county clerk's office. It's right below us on the first floor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, okay, Mr. Paris, good seeing you. Have a safe trip back to Houston. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Rayner, you from
Galveston County.
Galveston? You have a safe trip back to Galveston,
Sir.
and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stand in front of the clerk and you'll be free to go. I'll be free to go. Y'all have a blessed day. You have a blessed day as well. Okay, so you talked to him?
Not today, but I'm saying we had.
Y'all have already met.
But he never came to court.
Well, he came to, last time he was out, I think he was out of town.
Yeah, you had to take another case out of town somewhere.
Right.
So we had to be said.
But this time he didn't appear, so I don't know. What we can do, I see you work.
Yes, sir. I mean, we're here to come I come. That's what I'm saying. I've been ready to.
You
Get it over
said,
with.
we're gonna give it a last reset. If he doesn't appear this time, we'll have to rescind his appointment,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Make sure, Ms. Redmond, go ahead on and reset his case. What would that date be? Like, is it gonna be, they rescinding in November? Huh?
Okay, I mean.
November 29th. Okay. Once you get your research, you'll be free to go. Thanks for being patient with us. You have a blessed day. Okay.
You're going to find it all. Yeah, bring a copy of this.
Now, Mr. Como, your previous attorney withdrew. Is that correct? Oh, man. Hold on a minute. Stephen, come on. Stephen B. Como. Yeah, if y'all need to talk, y'all need to go outside or in the conference room. Our court is in session. Yes. Okay. Transferred. This case was transferred. Motion to withdraw. Notice of order to withdraw. Bruce Smith was your attorney? Okay, we need to give him judge's explanation. We need to give him the judge's explanation, Mr. Bailiff. Ms. Bailiff, we need to give him the judge's explanation of rights to defendants without attorney. You currently do not have an attorney, is that correct?
No, sir.
I'm going to go over that document with you. Deb, you can leave everything on there. The document that's before you is judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. As a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options regarding your right to have an attorney. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, the case, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Okay.
And number three, you may represent yourself. What that basically means, you can give up your right to have an attorney and represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Okay.
Now, if you want an attorney to represent you and you have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you would need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. The waiver is that you're giving up your right to have an attorney. That written waiver is the second document that is on that clipboard that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea. Now, the next paragraph states, be aware that there are dangers of self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. Now, if you choose to represent yourself, you may change your mind at any time and request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the bottom of this document, it states, defendant's right, marking issues next to only one choice. If your choice is to hire an attorney, you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. If you've already hired an attorney to represent you in this case, then you place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you would like to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Then you will place your initials on the third line to the left. If you have already been appointed a court-appointed attorney to represent you in this case, then you will place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you want to waive your right to an attorney, that is, give up your right to an attorney and represent yourself, then you will place your initials on the fifth line to the left and the name of the attorney. Well, you just put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you have finished initialing one of the 5 lines, then you will sign your name on the line that's titled defendant, and you would date it today's date on the line that is titled date, and today's date is October 9th of 2023. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you want like take a seat and make your choice, you can do that, and then we'll call you back up. You can sit at the table. Oh, there's a pen right here. There it is. What she said. I know. Submit a payment. Seemed like that should already been done.
Yeah.
Oh, let me talk to what?
But I'm not. Y'all haven't seen that?
Who?
I was tripping. Sure, the police officer, and she was driving around in her full uniform while waiting for this docket. Look, you'll see.
Let me see.
They're saying doing it, just like Tom Kelly in here. That's a week ago, like, I'll email.
Oh, that Dodge LeBlanc right
You
there.
gotta bring it up. They're coming, so that's the deal, like, I'm making them walk it up there.
I think that's a
They don't
picture.
understand.
No, that's not, that's a measure that she.
Oh, okay. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M329508. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Angel Elise Fisher. Ms. Fisher, you could take your mic off of mute. You can put your video on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Fisher, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Fisher, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. I apologize for being late.
Okay, now, Mr. LeBlanc, Ms. Fisher was supposed to pay a JP reduction. Has that been paid?
Yes, Judge. She sent me proof by text. I have to get it into the court.
Actually, you have to get that to the district attorney's office.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to get that today. To the, yeah, you got to go there in person. You got to go in there in person with a receipt to the district attorney's office.
Okay, Judge.
I guess it's a receipt.
Whatever, proof of.
Yeah, showing proof of that she paid the JP reduction. And until
Okay,
that,
Judge.
this case
I'll
is
do
not
that.
done. And so we're gonna give you until, I guess, 5 p.m. today to get that done.
Okay, I'll get it done, Judge.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna give you a 1-week reset. What is that date? Is that the 16th? It's gonna be reset to October 16th. 2023. Ms. Fisher.
Yes, sir.
In contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case. Thanks for being patient with us. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You do as well.
Okay. And Mr. LeBlanc, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Como, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line state you want your case reset to hire your own attorney? Now, Mr. Como, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Como. Your case is gonna be reset to give me an opportunity to hire an attorney. Give us a reset date. What's the date on this here? Can we, how much time you need to hire your attorney?
Like 2 months.
Has to be the 29th. Okay, this is an old case. You need to get this case. You had an attorney before.
Yes, sir. I just couldn't coordinate the time.
Okay, give us a reset. You said the 29th, huh? Okay, that's good. That's 2 months. That's right at 2 months. Okay, you say December the 4th? That'll put it right at 2 months, okay? And this case is gonna be reset to December 4th, 2023. And you need to be here in person on that date, okay? All right. Once you get your reset from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day and have a safe trip back. Yeah, you could. Well, you do that after we, yeah.
No, it's just, for a trial 2 weeks, we're submitting a picture of a gun, but Bruce has got putting it in there as opposed when I got to talk.
What are you talking about?
It's hard to contact Bruce Cobb, so.
But it's something to do, it's hard to nail them down, you ain't got to talk.